Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa. Hello family, thank you again for tuning in for another exciting recipe, and today is our spiced waakye recipe. Okay, yes, exactly. Now I have got various waakye recipes on my YouTube channel, including even a waakye risotto. You need to check them out, yes. So anyway, to start this off, I've got my black-eyed beans that I did soak for a couple of hours with lukewarm water. Then I gave it a rinse, and here it is in my clay pot with some water. And yes, we're about to do some infusions. So the first thing I'm going to be adding will be my cold pressed organic coconut oils. It's going to have that coconutty flavor. Next thing is my Habanero Chilli for that residual heat that would go through the beans, yes, but it's not going to be hot, yes, it's just going to be so. And I'm going to be bringing this to the boil whilst I enjoy my amazing ginger drink. Now if you do want that recipe, leave your comments below and I will do that for you. Now my choice of rice for my waakye is the Thai Hom Mali rice, and I grabbed this from Waitrose. Now for ease, one would use the sorghum leaves, but I've created the sorghum replenished tea, or may I say the waakye leaves tea, yes. And it has got some spices and herbs in, and that's what I'll be using for my waakye today. Now that is readily available on buyindudu.com. Now here this is boiled for about 15 minutes, and to that I'm going to be adding 2 heaped teaspoonful of my sorghum tea blend. Now we're going to allow this to simmer for about 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, that beautiful, rich, dark maroon color of the sorghum leaves will permeate through the beans. As you can tell here, that's just beautiful. Now for centuries, sorghum leaves have been used by our ancestors as a tonic, for anemia and just general vitality. So it's so important to include this in your diet. And after all my extensive research, I was like, yes, we have to have that in the bottle. At this point, I've added my salt to taste. And as you can tell, I've mixed everything together until it's well combined. I'm going to be adding my bicarbonate soda, which caused a reaction. And then where's the ladle there? It did work after all. So yes, the hack they talk about seemed to have worked here. Anyway, so I'm going to allow this to just simmer yet again for another 10 to 15 minutes. I need the water content to be a bit lower. Don't worry, I'll leave all the measurements in the description box and also a link to the website. Right, now I've got my rice here. Normally I would say one should wash the rice till the water does run clear, but not on this occasion because we do want that high starch content. So we are going to wash this rice just once, and that is enough and perfect for me to add to my beans. Why have I done this? Because I've added the bicarbonate soda, which means that this is going to cook quickly and it doesn't need a lot of liquid as well. Yes, if you end up adding too much liquid, then you're going to end up having a waakye porridge, or may I say a risotto. But please don't blame me. So anyway, at this point I've added my washed rice, and then I'm going to mix everything together and yet again taste for salt, because of course I've added more like the rice to it. Sometimes yes, it will require a little bit more salt, so just your own personal preference. Check it. If it does need it, yes. If it doesn't, omit that altogether. After 12 minutes of slow cooking, I need to get rid of the habanero chili. If not, when I do mix everything together, that chili is going to burst and it's just going to spoil all that delicate flavor that is in here. I only needed it for that residual heat that needed and that aromatic, chili flavor to permeate through it. Anyway, I have checked for wetness and it does require a little bit more water. So yes, carefully I just add exactly what I need and then mix it. And sometimes I'm sure you can relate if you love cooking as much as I do as well, or if not even better. When you're cooking, you just definitely need to use all your senses, your eyes, your nose, and even when you're staring, there is a rhythm to it. And the rhythm, the fact that you just know by when you're cooking almost every day that is enough liquid, that is enough moisture, that is enough flavor. It all comes through your entire being. It's an energy, positive energy. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm so happy with that. So of course, as you saw, I used my parchment paper to trap in the steam and then, just make sure I just trapped everything in and allowed it uninterrupted to cook on the lowest heat possible for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, this beauty is almost done. Almost, because I've got some more ketchup coming your way. Anyway, using that same rhythm as I mentioned before. Because honestly, when one learned from their parents on how to cook, there wasn't any recipe or measurements. You used your eyes and your senses and that rhythm to create the recipe too. So, to transform that into a written recipe is not an easy task. So, yes, shout out to every other, bloggers out there, food writers, historians, cooks, chefs, who sit or take the time out to write a recipe. Kudos to you, because it does take a lot. But of course, once I did my rhythm, I knew I needed a little bit more moisture. So just 3 tablespoonfuls of water I sprinkled over it. That would activate the steam. And then I had to add my dollop of coconut oil. So it's going to be all coconutty and just mwah. Bearing in mind the sorghum tea also has spices and herbs in there. So this flavor, you need to try it too. Yeah, I told you. And then I'm going to allow it to just cook for another 5 minutes, just to allow everything to melt. And it is at this point that we're just going to be mixing everything together. We're going to get that rhythm right. And that's the rhythm I'm talking about. This is not any other food. Oh, this is Ndudu by Fafa. Now, I'd like to say a big thank you to all my subscribers, returning subscribers, notification gang. Guys, you have been incredible. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope 2022 is working out just fine. I'm wishing you all great success in everything you do. And remember, if I can do it, you can even do it better. Absolutely. And here we have the waakye in the Claypot. Now, let me tell you something. This waakye is also smoky, thanks to the Claypot. If you've never done your waakye in a Claypot, try it and thank me later. Now, of course, we have the precursor tea, which is the Aden fruit tea. You will find this on my website. And of course, the sorghum leaves tea, which has even got things like fear lime in. Yeah, so you can tell what that waakye tastes like. So it's refreshing as well. Which, yet again, you can use as your tea and, of course, make your waakye. And it's readily available on Buy in Ndudu. You will find my complete spice range and natural seasonings and inventive and innovative ways to use most of our recipes. I've written recipes as well that you will find on Buy in Ndudu. Also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as Ndudu by Fafa. So do pass by and say hi. Noel, thank you very much for my theme song. And if you are looking for any traditional African recipes, you can find that on my blog, ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com. Until my next recipe with you, kings and queens and beautiful people, thank you very much for gracing me with your presence. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next video. Me, as I always say, be you, be nice, be beautiful, and guess what? I love you for you. Thank you for watching. Toodles.